This week, the Korean central city of Daejeon was selected to host the 2029 Invictus Games, becoming the first city in Asia to host the international sporting event for wounded service members. Now, what makes this achievement so significant? We turn to our Park Kun-woo here in the studio. Welcome, Kun-woo.
Great to be here.
So, Kun-woo, let's start with what Invictus Games are. Tell us.
Of course. So, the Invictus Games are an international sporting event for wounded service members and veterans. And founded by the UK's Prince Harry in 2014, the Games use sport to support the physical, psychological, and social recovery of service members wounded in combat. The Games typically feature 12 sports. That includes athletics, archery, sitting volleyball, and wheelchair basketball. Every athlete carries the Invictus spirit with them, and I had the chance to speak with one of the first Korean women to compete in the Games who even won a medal after overcoming tremendous hardship.
When I competed, I had to go all the way to Germany, so it's meaningful that Korea will now be able to welcome athletes. I hope it helps more people recognize how veterans are honored here. After being injured, many service members feel like their lives are over. But I eventually realized it wasn't the end, but the beginning.
Great. And, Daejeon is chosen as the host city for the first time here in Asia. Isn't that a tough competition, Kun-woo?
It totally was. And so this is a truly historic milestone, I must say. And Daejeon secured the right to host the 9th edition of the Games after winning a unanimous vote over San Diego in the U.S. and Aalborg in Denmark. Evaluators praised the close coordination among the central government, local authorities, and the veteran community, all united behind one mission, that is, helping wounded service members recover and rebuild their lives.
And I hope, really, actually, Justin, it's about how South Korea celebrates 75 years since the conflict. And ultimately, 12 of our nations within the Invictus Games Foundation family were there to help. And I think that's why, ultimately, so much energy from your parliament, from your government, and from commitment from your people when we came over to do the recce transformed the way we saw Daejeon.
The foundation was impressed by Korea's strong culture of honoring veterans. During its evaluation visit, it toured the Daejeon Convention Center, the Veterans Hospital, and the National Cemetery. It also praised Daejeon's vision, the commitment of the organizations involved, and its plans to create a lasting legacy beyond the Games.
The foundation also believes bringing the Games to Asia could have an impact beyond Korea.
Your young generation, but I think within the Asian context, it's the fact that there is a lot of conflict going on and a lot of veterans around that aren't necessarily getting the respect and treatment. The great determination would be that we help change attitudes across Asia as well. I know there will be millions of people in Asia be watching the Games in Daejeon. I think you will be seen as leaders in the area about how to do rehabilitation for those that have been wounded serving for their country. I think for those competitors lucky enough to come to Korea, they will have an
I see. Kun-woo, then I have to ask, could this pave the way for more Asian nations to, attend the Daejeon Games?
I think so, and there's certainly a greater possibility. Until now, the Games have only been held outside Asia.
Right.
And currently, Korea and a few countries in the Middle East are participating in the Games. Each edition also allows the host to recommend a number of invited nations, and that could open the door for greater Asian participation in future Games.
The final decision on invited nations rests with the Invictus Games Foundation. However, as the first Asian host, Korea will be able to recommend countries such as the Philippines, Thailand, and nations in the Middle East for the foundation's consideration.
Well, we still have a few more years to wait until the Games actually start. Kun-woo, how are the preparations coming along?
Yes, so preparations are now in full swing. And as the 2029 Games are expected to draw thousands of athletes, families, and supporters from 26 countries, Daejeon is stepping up preparations to ensure the Games are a success.
We're expecting around 3,000 athletes and family members. We'll carefully prepare every aspect from sports venues to accommodation to ensure the Games are a success. With our experience hosting a major international event recently, we're confident.
He added that Sejong City, the administrative capital of Korea close to Daejeon, will also help with accommodation facilities.
I see. Kun-woo, thanks for the coverage.
All right, always a pleasure.